Ontario playing to the wings early on here just to get a feel for the ice.
Yep.
She may have come up a bit late.
Amber wants to give a shout out to her daughter Georgina, who's 3.5. Hope she's being a good girl for Daddy. Aunt Janet and Auntie Boot. Garnet, her husband, I know it's a big weekend in sports in the States there, and he's a Detroit Lions fan. But Amber is hoping that he'll find some time to be watching Amber and her teammates play today. So good luck with that, Garnet. And then thanks for watching for Jerry and Donna. So that's from Amber.
Garnet might be happy to hear that the Bears, apparently their quarterback Trubisky, may not be starting today against the Lions.
That's just a rumor that we've heard here, folks. You know, we have the pulse of the sports world at our fingertips, don't we, Jim? Here.
Yeah, we're techie, all right.
So Ontario has the hammer this end, starting off. Next up.
Well, PEI has one in the forefoot, and Ontario skipped Ruddenhead, just walked up in there and take off the front. There he goes. Nicely done by Ashton.
Yeah. Mandy Aston, and she has son Brad, and happy Thanksgiving to her sister, Carrie, who hopefully is watching down in Nevada. And it's a little warmer down there than it is up here. When you wake up in the morning and you walk out to your vehicle and the snow is squeaking, you know it's cold. It's minus 14 here today. And then all of a sudden, Mandy wants to give a shout out to her team at GM headquarters in Oshawa, Ontario, and to Val and Jeff. And for the gang at the GM headquarters, watch the game, but can you do a little work at the same time?
Oh.
I'm just saying that. She didn't say that. She just thanked you guys for watching at the Oshawa headquarters.
You're doing your homework, Keith.
Yeah, more than a pretty
good.
face, Jim.
There you go. Ashton asked again now to for the takeout, deal last shot. 2 PEI rocks in the rings. There's the out turn. Little tap back. She really got out to the broom. Let's see if this will come back. Any indication? Yesterday we had the sheet was curling somewhat. Here it comes.
Picked it off.
Might have a jam, and there's a jam at the back. Okay, the Island now Keith with the force on here in the first end.
It's Nancy McFadden.
McFadden from Cornwall Curling Club. I think she's related to some of the guys I used to play against, the McFadden boys that used to represent the Islands numerous times at the Canadian Championship.
Yeah, Nancy wants to give a shout out to Cindy Nicholson. Cindy was the lead, but was unable to attend due to an injury. And then to her sister and brother-in-law, Dawn, and I think it might be Dale. I'm not sure. I can't read the handwriting. Dawn and Ted, maybe. Could be a Ted.
Dad?
I don't know. Well, it's a brother-in-law.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm going to go with Ted.
Suzanne Miller with her first shot, out turn, tap, take out. Nice delivery here. She's right up the stick. Sweepers on. This rock is moving.
Oh, nice. Gets by. Nice shot there. Woo!
Nicely done.
And Suzanne wants to give a shout out to her dad, Doug, and to Steph and Krista, and to all the family members that are watching back home. Hope you're enjoying this week's broadcast. The girls have been playing well here. Like we said, 3-1. This is a big day. Final day of round robin play. Top team gets a bye to the semis tomorrow at 6:30. And semis are at 1:30. And then if there's any tiebreakers, they're at 8:30 in the morning, which there might be. It's McFadden's second shot.
She tried to follow Miller down and clipped the guard, and ensuing result, she has a rock that went through the rings and clipped off another and went to the back of the rings. And I believe that's No, that's just off the rings. So Ontario now with a chance to lie two. One solid lead, back four. Rodenheiser asking Miller to draw around the long corner. PEI corner guard. Just in front of the rings. And she's not coming around the she's going in the out-turn draw. And it needs some work to get there. Ashton and Duncan. A lot of effort to get that rock just as close as it was. There it is to the ring. Rodenheiser with an open hit now to line two. Even if Ontario, the Oshawa team, had come in or tried to go around the corner guard on the right-hand side, the PEI rock, and if they're light and if they clip somewhat, then they have guarded shot rock. And I'm thinking because it's behind the tee line, she's not safe with it there. Any result, the Island team has a hit now to lie two.
And Debbie obviously wants, as well as the rest of the girls, a big cheer has to go to the Cornwall Curling Club. Her husband Jeff for the support, and daughter and husband Christine and Daniel, and son Timothy and his girlfriend. And of course, their beautiful granddaughter Audrey. That's from Debbie. Nice shot, gets a roll.
You know what, Keith? I'm playing this end all along, watching this end. As Ontario has the hammer and they don't. PEI has the hammer.
Well, they have the hammer up there for Ontario. That's what was.
That's what's confusing.
Yes.
So Hogan with her last shot. And she's drawing against two PEI counters at the back of the ring. There's lots of backing. Ashton and Duncan, they're on it early, now they're off, so she must have a nice looking shot. Obviously long call now from the wings. And they tuck that in there nicely. So that's a big shot for Ontario early on in this game.
Yes. I didn't get a shout out to Stacy there, Brian. The Faskin lawyer team, Uncle Pete, Auntie Karen, Nana and Grandpa, Uncle Ron, Auntie Peggy, and Eric. That's from Stacy, the skip of the Ontario ladies. They're having a great week here, as are all the teams playing on. I know the teams are very appreciative. All the work has been done with the volunteers, having a great tournament, and they say excellent ice to play on. So I know Chris Tapley, the head, the Iceman, will be glad to hear that, as him and his team work diligently hard to provide the best surface possible for these teams to play on. Well, here we are coming down to the final shot of the first end. They're not putting a brush on it yet.
She needs full 8 foot to get her 1 point.
They're trying to slow it down.
And when the sweepers walked right away.
Yeah, look at that. That's well, they'll still have the hammer. I always go back to no, Ontario has last rock. They've been hiding those rocks somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
See, we were right. They were right with the hammer, but when we looked over, we go, there's no more rocks for Ontario to throw. But there is.
We're not going to let it happen again.
It won't happen again. We'll have to really lean forward hard. I don't know where they had that rocket.
Folks at the Oshawa are wondering, what are those two guys doing there?
Listen, it's been a long week.
Yeah, no kidding.
We're only here from 8:30 in the morning, 10 o'clock at night. I don't know what the big deal is. Our eyes are going. That's not a good sign. So here we are for an easy draw for their two. I shouldn't say easy because the last one, look at this.
This is sliding.
They're not putting a brush on it, and that is going too far.
She catches the back.
Oh. She found the brakes. Piece of cake. 2 points.
2-0 Ontario.
I can always remember I was doing the Scotties one year provincially, and we had some folks up in the booth, and one of them was Judy Blanchard. And Judy is a longtime member of the Thistle St. Andrews Curling Club in St. John, Brunswick. And Judy is a former world senior women's champion with the Heidi Hanlon team. Some folks from the curling fraternity might know that name. Anyway, Judy was always a firm believer to have her sweepers involved. And she says, Keith, they can help to make my stone go 4, 6, 8 feet further, but they can't do anything to slow it up. So she says, I was always wanted my sweepers involved in all the rocks that I threw. So Ontario got there too, and now it's up to PEI to respond. If you're tuning in for the first time, if you've been busy all week and had to have a chance, these games are 8 ends in length. So we will have a break at the end of 4, 5-minute break for the ladies to regroup, get some refreshments, and get back on the ice. So we'll have a short break then. And these games, Jim, as you know, you've been helping out with a few of them. They go pretty quick, don't they?
Sure do, yeah. This rock really hooked us outturn. We noticed this too in our previous games on the sheet. This outturn coming home or coming east, it really moves. Hogan has an opportunity now to get her teammate Duncan to seal the deal here, close up, guard this rock on top 4, control the rings. Let the sink sailing in here too. And back 4, back 8. Full 12 foot. Odenheiser going to play the hit, the outturn hit. Try to roll under the corner. Gotta like the curl here. This is really good.
We're gonna get a piece of it. Gotta have quick feet in that house, don't you, sometimes, with those rocks start moving. I'll give you the standings, the overall standings in the women's division. In Pool A, Northwest Territories have been playing outstanding curling this week. They're 4-0, followed by Alberta 3-1, and then we have British Columbia 3-2, Northern Ontario 2-2, Saskatchewan 2-2, Nunavut 1-4, and Quebec 0-4. And as we discussed, Pool B, which we have Manitoba 4-0, Nova Scotia and Ontario 3-1, Newfoundland Labrador 3-2, New Brunswick 1-3, Yukon 1-4, and PEI 0-4. Top place team by to semi, second, third crossover in a quarter. The quarterfinals will get going at 1:30, semifinals at 6:30 tomorrow evening. Championships Saturday Bronze and gold medal games in men's and women's will get underway at 9 a.m. So up, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on Saturday.
The possibility of tiebreakers in the women's division still exists. The men, it's a little more cut and dry. So after action today, of course, everybody will know that.
Yeah, and the men will be done. The next draw 13 will be all men playing, and that'd be their last round robin game, as the ladies will conclude play this evening at 7:30. And PEI is back on the ice again tonight on sheet 1 as they play Nova Scotia, so they'll be right next to us, and we'll be keeping all the scores up to date on this round 2. And Ontario will play Manitoba, and that has huge placement implications for sure. As Manitoba is sitting 4-0, but they've got a tough match in front of them as they're playing Nova Scotia, and Nova Scotia's up 3-0 over Manitoba early on. So this evening, Ontario ladies will be playing Manitoba, and they'll be on sheet 3. Ontario, Manitoba. Actually, they're going to be a feature game on sheet 5. So for you folks in Ontario, we'll be broadcasting that game. Our crew on sheet 5 will be bringing that game to you.
Sobey with the out-turn guard for PEI. Hogan asking Miller now for the run back.
Got rid of those catchers in the back there, Jim.
PEI with 1. Full 8, top of the 4-foot, right at 12 o'clock. Ontario with the 1 out front. So I guess you can say they have control with that rock there. The Island girls have elected to throw another guard. Take away the rays, the red rays. Fadden's rock's coming in now. It's some sort of an angle on it. She pushed it out there a little too far. Perhaps the weight was a little more than required or asked for. Out-turn tap, out-turn hit. Miller with a nice delivery. Nice out-turn delivery.
Shot.
Nicely done.
She's going to stick around.
Okay, PEI with some choice. Oh, they're gonna draw in. They're gonna draw in with the. Of course, they have the hammer. PEI have the hammer. They're down 2-0. Look at that straight this end. Who has the hammer? Who doesn't?
Well, that's what I thought. I'm looking down and said, well, Ontario's got the hammer. We look over and go,
Yeah,
but there's only one rock left, so maybe not. But it must have been tucked in right to the board.
We only played with 7 rocks and the team had 9.
Yeah.
It'd be tough.
Yeah.
Sometimes it felt
taking
like
rocks from the other sheet. Oh, you know what? Didn't like that last one. Let me have another one. It just rubs on the top there, rolls in.
That's tricky too,
Yeah.
because the shooter rolls on.
Now you hit 2 in.
Yeah.
Count 2-3 or 1-3.
Ontario leads. Amber Dawn Duncan's holding the broom for skipper.
Yeah. She's in the house.
Miller's a sweeper. And she throws Mate's rocks. Take a nice weight. And they're holding this. Great sweep.
Good work, ladies. Miller and Aston with the sweeping.
Rodenheiser appears she's going to draw into the rings. And with the draw here, Keith, it will move from the 8 foot, middle of the 8 foot out. We've seen rocks really take off. You know, you get 4.5, 5 feet of curl.
This is her first stone here in the second end.
And she's decided to play the takeout. It's coming up for her. I don't know if she'll be shot after this rock.
No.
Bogan taking
Ontario, yeah. Ontario is shot currently. She's down to her last shot, so.
Free draw. And the only thing about this, Keith, is the placement of this rock. You don't want to cross house double. I know she's going to play the out turn and probably go to the edge of the 4 foot or top 4 foot. But she doesn't want to set up a cross house double to give up a 3-ender.
Yes.
So she comes, she stays high here. She can bite top 8, or she can come to the back 8, which is a catcher. But ideally, she'd like to be around this A in Canada for the travelerscanada.ca in Canada.
And again, there's no brushes on it. That usually concerns me.
She's going under the umbrella.
Yeah, and going by it. And out.
Okay, there's a half a rock exposed now for Rodenheiser. Heavy draw Couture. We haven't seen much of the in-turn here. This particular side of the sheet has been a lot of out-turns thrown the past couple of days.
You know what's I found interesting, and that's not the first time I've seen a skip stone going through the house when there's like an easy, nothing's easy at this level, but they seem to throw better when there's more rocks in play to bring it in for a draw than when the house is wide open. And I've seen this week easily 5 to 6 open house. All you had to do draw it into the 4 foot and heavy.
Slide
heavy.
through.
Yep, slide through. And like I said, that's not a rare occurrence here. But when you put some other rocks in play and you have to bring it in from right to left or left to right, fine. But boy, if it's wide open, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's
it seems like they can thread the needle.
Yeah.
If need be, just to hit the rings.
Yeah, and there's been times when they say, hey, here it is, last shot. You get an extra point. Just throw it in the 4, 8 foot, and can't be done.
Rodenheiser with the draw. And
see if she can
get heavy. Now they're on it, so
yeah.
It's a good-looking shot. I'm not sure if she has the weight. She just has to move that 5 or 6 inches.
No, I don't think that's happening.
She's just going to come to it for a shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a big opportunity missed there.
Draw for 1. She hit the line. And they're just checking it for 2 here.
Yeah. I think, yeah, that was an opportunity missed there where could have got 3. because
Wow.
they don't come up too often.
Yeah, that's right.
So they get a point, but they give Ontario back.
So you needed another half a pound.
Yeah.
Just to get it there. Ontario 3-1, and they're chasing Manitoba in this Pool B at 4-0, and Nova Scotia's at 3-1, as you mentioned, Keith. The Manitoba and Nova Scotia play a very important game later, with Ontario winning.
Well, yeah. Manitoba's Nova Scotia playing right now.
Okay, they're playing right now.
Yeah.
So with Ontario, if they can win today, they presently lead 2-1, and Nova Scotia trips up Manitoba. We have a three-way tie. For first place, all teams
Yeah.
at 4-1.
Yeah, going around the horn here, we have Quebec up 1-0 over Northwest Territories. Alberta 2-0 over Nunavik. We have Yukon is up 2-0 over New Brunswick. And Nova Scotia 3-0 over Manitoba. Our feature game is 2-1 for Ontario, and Northern Ontario and Saskatchewan zeros after 2. A big shout out has to go to our sponsors to help make an event like this happen. The City of Miramichi, Province of New Brunswick, Curling New Brunswick, Pizza Light, Subway, Tim Hortons, Jet Ice, Towns Auto for their help, obviously, with transportation, for all the vans to be driving these teams. We have 28 teams here this week, 14 women and 14 men's teams.
Hal Summers, the Town Auto Group.
Yeah, he's been a great supporter. And of course, our presenting sponsor, Travelers Canada. It's better under the umbrella. My name is Keith Rains and Jim Matheson in the booth here. We're happy, Vibe TV1, powered by Bell Alliant, happy to be bringing you these championships here from next to the mighty Miramichi River in the province of New Brunswick. We're about an hour and 15 minutes just north of Moncton, if that helps you to get your head around where we're located at on the geographical map.
2 hours from the Nova Scotia border approximately, and coming north, and if you go further north, it's 2 hours from the Quebec border.
Yep. And if you leave here about 2.5 hours or so, you're in Prince Edward Island.
That's correct.
Go down, hang a left at Moncton, hop over the Confederation Bridge. It's about 13 kilometers long, and you're in the picture province of PEI.
Amber Dawn with her second shot on the rings, perfectly placed, top 4. She has a touch for a lead.
And I always love when tourists come over to Prince Edward Island, because the potato farmers, lots of times they'll just have their little a little stall or little booth out at the end of their driveway for the new potatoes, and it's like $5 if you want new potatoes. You just throw your money in the little box there, and you grab your 5 pounds of 3 pounds, 5 pounds of potatoes, right? Yeah. And my goodness, they're good. We always look forward to when we go over to PEI, and I got to go. When I'm going home, I'm picking up my potatoes on the way.
Leave your money.
Leave your money. Yeah, just leave it there. There's no one attending the thing. It's just at the end of the driveway.
Exactly.
Yeah. You always see some tourists, especially they're from the States or away. They go, well, what do you mean? It's you just throw the money in there and you grab a bag. I go, really? Yep. Welcome to the Maritimes.
Ashton with a nice out-turn takeout. Just rolled a bit too far. Nonetheless, though, it was, you only see half a rock. So will be asked to remove the shot rock.
Nice shot here.
Love going to the island, Keith, like you say. There's so much
Oh,
to see and do over there.
we always go a couple times a year, and I don't know if it's when you go over the island, everybody's lawn is cut. And I think if they don't cut their lawn, I think they kick them off the island. Right? It's like Survivor. Like, you don't do that, we're kicking you out.
Or they
because
put them to work in the potato fields.
the landscape is just picturesque. Like, you drive the rolling hills and the beautiful farmland and the fields and whatnot, and people's properties are just so nicely upkept, and it's always really nice whether you're going up to Cavendish or Charlottetown, Summerside. It's a very, very, very pretty area, and if you ever have a chance, and that's the nice thing, as Jim was saying, you come to the Maritimes, you're not too far away from anything. Like I said, from the Miramichi, we're an hour and 15 to Moncton. From Moncton down to Halifax is maybe two and a half hour drive to Halifax. From Moncton over to PEI, you're an hour and a half or so. And so, you can check out the Bay of Fundy. Parley Beach has the warmest waters north of Virginia. So there's a lot to offer. The food is outstanding and the hospitality is better.
How you doing with the trivia? I left you
Oh, you're the trivia guy.
I left you yesterday with the trivia, and you had these questions for the Canadian questions.
Yes, yes.
You could throw that out there for our Ontario and PEI folks that didn't catch that. I mean, I have the answers now.
Okay, here's something to think about, folks. I want you to write down 5 symbolic icons of Canada. Okay? When you see these symbols or you see these icons, it makes you think of Canada. So just take your time, and we'll give you an end to think about that. We'll come back to that. The top 5. Obviously, there's more than 5, but the top 5, there was a survey done across Canada, and these were the top 5 symbols, icons. Iconic symbols that people identify Canada with. Okay, since it's a national championship, we thought we would throw this out at you. I backpacked through Europe once for 4 months, and I had some of those iconic symbols, and you get a chance to especially talk to people from away. When they see something, that reminds me of Canada. Yeah. So we'll let you think about that one. And here's a shot that's staying out. It's not coming in.
McFadden just set that back a bit. Now Ontario with the hammer line, 1 and 2.
We're already in the third end here.
Stacey Hogan, the skipper, is asking Suzanne Miller to draw top 12 just in front of her shot. That's it. Just about completely in the 4-foot. Anywhere in front of that, close. That's out there. Looks like she has the weight maybe. Turn draw. It's coming up for now. We're going to tuck this. That's going to be a game.
Nice shot.
This is a well played in by Ontario. Both Duncan and Ashton. Duncan with her 2 draws to set things up, and Ashton with her 2 out-turn takeouts. PEI skipper facing 3. Debbie Rodenheiser. And it looks like she's going to play the top, and the intern may possibly get the double, maybe the triple if she could throw it hard enough. It's a tough enough shot. It's a tricky spot in the ice too, as was just demonstrated by her mate. She just set the rock a little bit up weight, and it just ran right straight through. I'm sure she's going to take a little off of it. Who won Ontario? control of weight.
It's coming in. Gets one, just nudges that second one.
Shooter rolls for number 2, I believe.
Yes, yep. She is second. Ontario 1 and 3.
Logan has a couple of choices here. Guard shot, in for 2, which could possibly set up a double, or play the hit and lie 3. And I don't think she can get the roll in front of shot without clipping number 3 stone, the red one, to the left or out of play. Which brings the back yellow PEI rock into play. Amber Dawn and Stacy are in discussion.
Yeah. Because this could, obviously potentially be a 3-end game for them.
Even 1 point or 2 here, you really have control of the match.
Yeah.
Got those crooked numbers.
Yeah.
I like them when your teammates get them.
This is her first shot here in the 3rd end. Amber's holding the stick down there, or the stick, the broom.
This looks like a draw. I don't think it's a long guard. I think she's going to come in and be nice here to show, throw the teaser, show half a rock. Ashton wants to see. Here comes the line now. The line's coming quick now.
Just wants it.
That's a great way. Just walk that in there. Show them half a rock. If you could get that a little bit tighter underneath the yellow corners.
Okay.
Nicely done.
Yep. Now let's see what PEI can do here on their last shot.
I think she's going to play the same shot. She's going to play the takeout, in-turn takeout. She knows the ice.
The pressure on these 4 skips.
Goodness. On your way through to Charlottetown, you have
Yes.
to go through Cornwall.
Yes.
Prior to getting
that's
to
right.
Cornwall, all along there, as you had mentioned about the little kiosk stores along the way, rather the potato bins.
Here it is, the last shot for
Or
the island. I know she's going to get by that second guard. No, rubs against it, taps hers.
Draw for 4.
Yep.
3 for sure, possibly a draw for 4. I think she's just going to play the same shot she just played. They looked at the other one, but I don't think they should touch that.
No, that's not in. Right now, Ontario's line 3.
Well played in by Ontario. As mentioned, the front end really set things up here nicely for Miller and her skip. Vice skip Miller having a very good game. Boy, when you're throwing last rock, you really like these. When your team's played well in front of you and you have the free one. Now you just have to make it for those 3 points.
Yeah.
If you miss them early in the game, they could come back to bite. She has room there. They haven't touched it, but she has a couple of catches. Really nice weight.
And that is, 1, 2, 3, 4. Big end for Ontario. to take a commanding 6-1 lead. So, do you have your list of symbolic icons of Canada? Okay, I'll give you a few seconds in case you go, oh yeah, I was going to do that. So, what are your 5 iconic symbols of Canada? When you see these symbols, think of Canada. So, I'll give you a few seconds. We'll let Amber shoot first, and then we'll give what the top 5 were. Is that fair, Jim?
Yeah.
Because I know you did your list up yesterday, so. Doing our
I was
broadcast.
3 for 5.
You were pretty good,
Yeah, I had
and
Terry
really,
Fox, it didn't count.
and the other ones were probably in the top 10 for sure, but these were from a survey done across Canada to different groups of people, and this is what they came up with.
Well, Ontario, we know PEI will probably put the Confederation Bridge. That's
Well,
that I think is one. You know what I missed yesterday?
No.
Niagara Falls.
There you go. And we were up there this summer. The Maple Leaf, obviously.
Oh, I missed it.
Right. The Beaver.
Yeah, Beaver was number 1.
Yeah. Parliament Hill.
Yep.
Right. When people see that, that's an iconic symbol. Canada Day
There you go.
is one of the ones.
Canada Day. You would
And-
think that is tied in with the Maple Leaf, but
Yeah. And this is the one that I wouldn't have got, but obviously the scholars put this one down, the Canada Arm.
yeah.
See, that's for the space station, and when they had the Challenger and the Discovery going up there, they
That
used
would
the
be
Canada
a
Arm.
Generation X one.
Yeah, for sure. But you had some good ones. What did you have down there?
Oh, the prairies, the Rockies, the Inukshuk,
Yes,
the Nunavut symbol, the Blue Nose,
the Blue Nose, like Atlantic. I like, man, it's on our dime.
Parliament Hill,
Yeah.
and I just thought of Niagara Falls there. On the
Yeah,
way
no,
here
I
today.
like Niagara Falls, and I guess they think Niagara Falls could be like on the American side or the Canadian side, but the
It's
Canadian had some
so
nice,
iconic Canadian.
Yeah.
When you see that,
Well,
you think of,
you can tell it is when you see all the tourists up there. We were up there in October, and it was, I can't only imagine what it must be like in July and August, because it was really busy in mid-October. So, so that was a fun one.
yeah, it would be like PEI in the summertime.
Yeah,
Around Anne and Green Gables.
yeah. Oh my goodness, yeah, up in Cavendish.
Oh, lovely, lovely country we live in. So many things to do and see.
Well, and this is one of the great opportunities for these teams, and maybe for some of them, first time they've been to the Maritimes, and obviously I bet a lot first time they've been to this part of the Maritimes. They might have been to Halifax or
Charlottetown,
and, you know, and but coming up to the beautiful Miramichi area, and having an opportunity, and that's a great thing with sports. And I was the same way when I played Canada Games volleyball, and traveled a lot with them. The Canada Games were in Lethbridge, Alberta that year I played, but university, we went to Ontario, played, Quebec and played, and obviously all through Atlantic Canada. Nice shot there.
This Ashton is just
On fire.
just lights out. Just gonna stick around. Duncan did her best to sweep it out, but it had a little curl and came back in. It's a biter for PEI. Asking Sobey now to in-turn draw to come to that Ontario rock, and just under the umbrella on the 1 foot. Boy, this rock is moving.
Yeah.
Might have got started.
Going around, we have Quebec is up 5-0 over Northwest Territories. 4-1 for Alberta, I believe. The girls are we'll have to wait till they start throwing their rocks here to Always,
Yep,
always a
4-1
little
Alberta.
difficult.
They're red.
Yeah, 4-1 Alberta over Nunavik. New Brunswick's up 3-2 over Yukon. 3-1 Nova Scotia over Manitoba, but Nova Scotia now has the hammer, so they limited Manitoba to a single. And 1-0 Saskatchewan over Northern Ontario. That gets you up to date.
Hogan was looking at taking the biter off to the side here, but I'm glad that the Ontario skipper decided to be aggressive here. She asked Assen, who's been doing quite well on the takeouts, for a draw. She gets back 8, but taps the shooter back. She's still lying 1-2. But I like that. Good. Your best defense is a good offense. We're up 5 points.
Just Joe takes it.
Takes it way by.
But not keeps it, stays in the house.
Suzanne Miller has to draw. Joan Weiss skips rocks for Team Ontario.
And this is the 4th end, and the 4th end we will be taking a break. 5 minutes, I guess, Jim, to get us some fresh water and let the ladies get a little nutritional break themselves and regroup as we come back for the second half of the match. Gives the ice rink staff a chance to give a little clean, a little sweep.
That was well swept. Ontario line 1, 2, and 3. PEI with the biter. Line number 4. Out there. It looks like it's a good line for this back one. And it's behind the tee line. Solid back 8-foot weight.
I think we should ask the folks at home what the first championship was. You like that one, didn't you,
I
Joe?
can tell them my answer. The first Canadian championship.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, for all the folks, I know the kids might enjoy this, but the adults might enjoy it too. What was Canada's first World Championship? What was Canada's, don't be Googling it, Canada's first World Championship? Think about that and we'll give the answer before we go to break. So what was Canada's first World Championship? What sport was it in? I had Jim. Jim loved this. We were telling. I said, scratching your head. And before we go, we'll tell what he thought at first.
I had no idea. I just threw it. I said the 1922 snowshoe.
Yeah. See, and my wife's a school teacher, so this is where this aspect is coming from.
Olympics.
And she's a history school teacher too. So now she is doing some work, great work with entrepreneurship programs in the school district. So she's loving that. But she had always been a history teacher before. So
the answer's a long time ago, folks. Like year 1.
Yeah. Jim.
Come on, they gotta get a break here.
Can't be giving the nuggets away like that.
Here's a nugget for PEI, and
he's up.
Yep, they're gonna lay 1-2.
Good.
Well.
Yeah, 1-2.
It's very tight.
Hogan knows what she has to do.
I think they're just number 1. Ontario is the red one right at the back is number 2.
You're correct.
Yeah, it's
I just
closer
sort of
than I
looked
think.
up and I see a
Yeah.
lot of white for both of them, but no.
Yeah, picking hit in the flop here. Up 5-1s, I noticed the last delivery. She's been playing so well this game, throwing ace rocks for Ontario. She got a little tight, you're up 5 points.
Yeah, you can do things.
You have control and a little bit of a swing. That one got away on her. I had a chance to really lock down this end, but skipper's out. Nice delivery. Decent high, good release for the in-turn with it.
Good shot.
Nicely done, too. Okay, PEI skipper now going out to the edge of the 12-foot. Looks like an in-turn.
Yeah, her first shot in the fourth end. Coming back to the Maritime, the Scotties will be coming up here, 16th to the 24th of February in Cape Breton and Sydney, Nova Scotia. The Scotties
I'm sure
Women's
they're
Championships.
looking forward to hosting that and down there in Cape Breton.
And they'll put on a great show, I have no doubt.
Oh yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
And Brandon has the Briar this year on March 2nd to 10th. And I know there's folks from the Miramichi here and the curling club here that are going to be going out to that. Joe Hawks I know he's got his hotel room booked and pass purchased. So that is March 2nd to 10th.
I'm sure the Wheat Kings will be on the road for an extended period.
Yeah.
Got to a couple of games when I was working out there. So the
A good
Warriors
sweeping
beat-
here by the ladies. Working hard. Getting it right down in there because he got a lot of backing. Oof. Got the heart rate up there.
I said to a skipper of mine one time, how are we going to get that rock out of there? He said, grenade. I said, Terry,
Yeah,
you're
right.
just going to draw on top.
Yeah.
Though. She doesn't need the points. She doesn't need the slash. It's behind the tee line, and it's an opportunity for the force. Chance for Hogan to get her draw weight. Keep it in her pocket.
Was the last stone for Ontario in this fourth end. Ontario's next game is 7:30 tonight against Manitoba. That's going to be a featured game.
Big game on the schedule, Keith.
Yeah. And the PEI ladies will finish their tournament off with a game against Nova Scotia. There's a nice shot.
Look at this.
Okay, so do you have your answers? What was Canada's first World Championship? And the year it happened was 1867. First year that we became a country officially. And the sport wasn't hockey, wasn't curling, not lacrosse.
Wasn't snowshoeing.
No, and not snowshoeing. It was the sport of rowing. There was 3 fishermen and a lighthouse keeper from St. John area went over to Paris, and they really didn't look the part as, you know, the Oxford crew and others had their traditional uniforms on and stuff, and the Canadians looked a little off. They didn't have the greatest of equipment either.
Worse for wear.
Yeah, but what they did is they won a world championship for our country, and they became known as the Paris crew.
Interesting.
And that was our first ever world championship. So something to obviously be proud of as a nation, and obviously we're proud, coming from New Brunswick. Put Canada on the map first. The young'un in the mixed, and they knew Canada after the boys left. There's a shot, just goes by.
Wow, out turn that really.
Yeah.
Steal of one for Ontario.
It's just a steal of one. So we're going to take a short break here, folks, and be back after this. Take about a 5-minute break, so a chance for you to get a little refreshment. Back to the 2018 Travelers Club Curling Championships from the Miramichi, New Brunswick, at the Miramichi Curling Club. Be back shortly.
About our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship from Miramichi, New Brunswick. We're here at the Miramichi Curling Club. My name is Keith Rains, in the booth with Jim Matheson, and we have the 3-1 Ontario squad taking on Prince Edward Island. PEI's 0-4. Ontario picked up 2 in the first, and PEI had an opportunity. Just came last shot came a little light. They had an opportunity to score 3. They ended up getting 1, but then in the very next end, Ontario came back with 4. And at the end of 4, we're sitting at a 7-1 count, a very strong Ontario squad. And they're looking like they're heading to definitely championship play. The top 3 teams in each pool will go on to the playoffs. And Jim, you have the standings there for these ladies in their pool.
Ontario, yes, I do, Keith. Manitoba is presently at 4-0. Nova Scotia 3-1. Ontario also at 3-1, and they're looking to go to. They're well on their way here to a 4-1 record. And then there's Newfoundland, a 3-2 record, followed by New Brunswick at 1-3. Yukon 1-4. PEI is currently winless in their 4 starts.
And you know what? Here is in our very side sheet is Manitoba is playing Nova Scotia currently, and Manitoba's undefeated at this point. And Nova Scotia is we haven't got the last score up here yet, but Nova Scotia was up 8-1. Now Manitoba had the hammer in 4, so we're just going to see. We'll get that score posted for you. But yeah. Nova Scotia scored 3 in the first. Manitoba came back with 1, and then in the third end, Nova Scotia ladies put 5 up on the board. So we'll just see what Manitoba was able to do with the hammer in 4.
If everything remains the same for the next 4 ends, it looks like Ontario will be in a tie for first place with Nova Scotia and Manitoba, who come back with the 4. They all will have 4-1 records.
Yeah, Nova Scotia held Manitoba to 1 point there, so it's 8-2 at the end of 4 for Nova Scotia over Manitoba.
Could be an interesting evening. 7:30 start tonight.
You coming back, Jim? Coming back,
buddy?
buddy?
Yeah, I'll be back. My wife is working the door. She tells
That's a family affair here.
She tells me that I'm going to have to be here with her tonight. So yeah, no problem.
Okay. So Jim will be in the house, and it's going to be a great evening, the last day of round robin play. And you know what, Jim? There's so much work that as you know, goes into hosting an event like this. Sean Ingersoll is the chairperson. Sean is the president of the curling club here. And Sean had an opportunity to go away and participate in this event, the Travelers, when it was in Ottawa.
In 2015, I believe.
And the Miramichi team won the provincial and had the opportunity to go to nationals. And once Sean got up there, loved the event, and he said, you know what, boys, we could host this event back home in our club because this facility has hosted different provincial championships. And anyway, he lobbied hard with Curling Canada and got the support of the community. And lo and behold, 3 years later, here's Jim and I broadcasting the 2018 championships from the Miramichi Curling Club.
A cold and snowy Miramichi.
Great place to be inside. Yeah, it is. It feels like mid-January. An early winter has come upon us. Great for the retailers, though, as people are in Christmas mode. When that snow hits the ground, like shopping goes way up, and especially now with the postal concerned.
Big freeze in eastern Canada is upon us. Ontario's getting, Quebec, Maritimes are all getting the cool
There's a
stuff.
shot coming in there. Nice shot.
Ashton, with her last shot, had another takeout or outturn takeout. She's playing very well. Second stone for Ontario. It's a hit now, but for Miller for July 4. There's no let up from this Ontario squad. They're at the broom and good shot makers, good execution. I like Hogan's calling of the game, Keith. She doesn't let up. She has an opportunity to go on offense, and sometimes she's a little hesitant, but it comes with experience. But she's making the right calls at the right time.
Yeah, and her team's executing. You know, and that makes her job a lot easier by the time she gets in the hack. And as a skip, there's nothing wrong with that.
Amber Don's a good influence on this team. I noticed during the fifth end break, she was talking to the coaches, talking to the rest of the team. The coach was on ice with them.
Yeah, very positive. And the back end girls have played, I believe, 10 years together. And Amber and the second, Maddie have been together. I have to go through my notes. I interviewed them. Yeah, I had interviewed them earlier in the week. Amber was giving me some nuggets, as you know, only Amber can.
Nancy McFadden with a nice outturn draw for the Islands team. Cornwall Curling Club. She locks one in there. Hogan just going to run the corner. For it. One lone yellow PEI stone in the rings. The edge of the 1 foot on the tee line. Adding second stone at the end. Another outturn draw. She's demonstrated some nice draw weight this game.
Yes, Mandy and Amber has been together for 6 years, and the skip and the mate Suzanne and Stacy has been together for 10. Okay. So just a little something for you. They had a great run. The Ontario ladies, they had their play downs this year. So they had a big victory over York, Team Shields in the Ontario. So they had a high level of competition just to get here, and they've carried that winning attitude.
They've carried themselves well
into this championship.
So Team Shields will be hungry next year, I'm assuming.
Yes, yeah.
Hogan with a chance, an attempt at a double. If she just hits it, they're both going to go. That's very good. Oh, okay, she shot rock. Okay, that didn't squirt out of there. There's no drag in that rock. It appears now that the Islands has a chance to lie 2. Should they take the Ontario stone out? There's 4 rocks around the perimeter of the 4 foot. Rodenheiser's call for an in-turn tap here. Saskatchewan's up 2-0 on Northern Ontario, and a good game on sheet A, Keith. Pretty close game there.
Yeah, that's the
Northern Ontario at 2-0, 2-2, and Saskatchewan at 2-2. Nicely thrown.
yeah.
Okay, we do know yellow is 1, and possibly 2. Could be
Thing
1 and
is,
4.
1 and 3. I think they're 1 and 3.
It's hard to tell.
The way Ontario's looking at it, they sort of. Oh, that one's 1. We're 2. They're 3.
Alberta
But-
Nunavut 4-4. They're in the 5th end.
Good for Nunavut, giving
Well,
Alberta.
Yeah. Good team out of Alberta. Then
Yeah.
Skips has been playing well this week.
Because in that other pool, Manitoba's 4-0, Nova Scotia's 3-1, Ontario's 3-1, Newfoundland 3-2. Excuse me, they're in Pool A. Northwest Territories has been like lights out. They're 4-0. They went an extra in against Alberta, give Alberta their only loss. British Columbia's 3-2, 2-2 Northern Ontario, and Saskatchewan, as you has already indicated. Nunavut's 1-4, and Quebec's 0-4. So Nunavut is kudos to obviously one of the powerhouses in curling in general. There's always strong teams coming out of Alberta. So anytime you can you go up against an Alberta team, you know you're going to be in for a match. You want to be bringing your A game.
Stacy just threw an out-turn hit, take shot rock out of play. She rolled out. Looks like the Island girls have a chance to draw for 2. She needs a bite of the 4-foot. The ice is the edge of the middle of the 12-foot, out-turn draw. 4-2. They presently lie 1, so the score as it stands right now is 7-2 for Ontario.
We are at the final shot of the 5th end.
It's a deceiving delivery right behind her as she comes in. There's a little push right at the end. I'm sure the front end is used to it. They're on this rock now to get it there. Here's draw weight from the skipper.
Yeah. Nice shot.
T-line.
And I think she might be 2. Yep. Good for PEI. Come back there strong. That was a real good end for them. Getting their 2 points.
Keith, the Timberwolves, the local junior team, left early today for PEI. They're playing in Summerside tonight. Coach calls me this morning. So
Aren't you like the assistant coach?
Well, one of them.
One of
Yeah,
them.
I'm the practice coach.
Oh, practice.
Yeah, I do the home games.
Yeah,
and I don't
away trips optional.
Right. Yeah,
It's
way past my bedtime.
Yeah,
in that
it's in the contract.
Yeah, that's right. And they had to leave early because they're afraid of the high winds on the Confederation Bridge.
Yes.
High vehicles aren't allowed to cross the bridge.
We've had well, I tell you, we had a great summer here. July, August, awesome. Not much rain. We've been very fortunate we didn't have any forest fires to speak of this year that I've known of. We had a beautiful September, and really up to Thanksgiving, it was nice. I had to go to Ontario in business. I was up in Toronto and Niagara Falls for 5 days after Thanksgiving. And when I came back, I mean, the weather was getting cooler up in Ontario too. And when I came back home, I was, well, first of all, flying into St. John was a treat because that night it was windy and rainy. And I have to honestly say it was the worst landing I ever had at the airport. It's the only time I ever thought we might go off the runway. And since then, it was high winds, it was single-digit temperatures, it was rain, and I go, what happened to our beautiful fall?
Global
warming.
What
All right.
happened to the global
What
warming?
happened? But it seemed when that
was a
hurricane
tweet
hit the States in Chicago or Georgia,
Up to the panhandle.
yeah, and went right up, and it put a great big bow in the jet stream, and then we were getting all this wind coming down from the north, and it hasn't, like from mid-October on, it has not been nice weather, and then we got hit with these high winds, as Jim said. I was broadcasting the Monktonian hockey tournament in Moncton, New Brunswick, 56 teams, major AAA bantam and midget. Great tournament.
That was last weekend.
Yeah, and teams, they had closed the Confederation Bridge to everybody. Usually they close it to trucks and buses if the winds are up. But the winds were so bad that they had closed it down a couple of different times. And the winds hit Newfoundland. Now get a load of this, folks. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the weather or not. 122 km/h winds.
That's really something.
On the Rock, and there were flights that could not leave because obviously there were flights that couldn't land. So we've been hit, and then of course we've had some snowstorms and stuff, just to add. So anyway, we're in the grips of winter is what we're trying to say, and I don't know if there's going to be any break in sight. So here's a little tap up. She wanted to. Thank you very much. PEI says. Thank you for knocking our rock in the house and guarding it.
This game could get real interesting here if she sinks one.
So the score is 7-3. PEI got 2 points in that fifth end.
Sandra asked to come in on the in-turn draw, edge of the 12-foot. Skipper hit the broom down. This is really close. This will take off. Outside in on this sheet B, everything's when curling coming east, as we are here on the even ends. A lot of movement. That might have been helped along a little bit with the in-turn, make it started somewhat, but there is a considerable amount of curl. Stacy's going to rip the front. Just give me that fourth. Let's get going here. That's nicely done. Exposes PEI shot rock. So we'll be in the hack. She has to get out to the broom. She had the right weight the last shot. Sweepers haven't touched it. And back 4-foot weight. Skipper will take that. The in-turns have been dictated this particular end. Mandy Aston asked for another takeout. She's been deadly in this game.
She's going to get a piece of that. That goes. Her shot goes.
Fadden's turn now. Odenheiser's called this right into the rings. Shot stone is not buried by any means. It's a high guard, high in the rings guard, called for. Now, if I was PEI, I'd be wanting to get one sunk in the top 4 foot. This one's coming. It's a lot of ice, that particular call. Suzanne Miller with a crack at the double. There's no other counters in the rings. 2 PEI yellow stones. Line 1 and 2. Hogan is called for a timeout. Miller's going to come and confer with her skipper.
And now you've got to love the game of curling, sport in general. There is Quebec. It's not had a great event so far, winless. They're up 6-2 over Northwest Territories, who's undefeated, who knocked off Alberta yesterday.
Wow.
Right? And Sarah Strader. She's the skip of the Territories team.
We had her in a feature game yesterday.
Yeah. And she has had an opportunity to play in this event before. Schroeder's third appearance. She was first as a skip at the National Championship that showcases the top curlers. In 2014, Strader,
yeah, with an A.
Played second to Sharon Cormier in Halifax and lost in the semifinals after a 5-1 record. She returned again to the Travelers in 2016 as a third and finished with a 2-4 record, missing the playoffs in Kelowna. So she has experience playing in national events, and it shows in her, well, up to this point,
in her record,
how bleeding the Territories team. But they're having their hands full this afternoon with Quebec team. They say, hey, we got nothing to lose. We're going up against top team in our pool. Let's just give her. And the ladies of La Belle Province are playing very well.
Time call back in now for the Ontario. They just had a timeout to talk to Coach Martin. Miller and Hogan had a conference on the backboard here in the 6th end. They lead 7-3. They've decided now to clear up the front. Allow possibly jam and take out the 2 PEI counters, 4 foot. Suzanne Miller. In turn. That's just not working out so well. That really moved that rock. Curled on it. PEI with a chance to lie 3. Lots of guards up front. She's called a timeout. So PEI with a timeout. Line 1-2. As you can see, both Yellowstones surrounding the right side of the 4 foot. The girls from Cornwall Curling Club having a discussion. Center Heiss
And there was just a, in our other sheet there's Saskatchewan and Northern Ontario. Saskatchewan has stole single points in the 4th and 5th ends to go up 3-0 over Northern Ontario. So, and of course Northern has the hammer. And there's quite a few rocks in play, and Northern Ontario does have shot, but sitting 2nd and 3rd is Saskatchewan. So that's a big end there in that one. A tight game. New Brunswick Yukon 4-3. Another close one. 6-4 Alberta over Nunavik. And as we said, Ontario's up 6-2 over Northwest Territories.
Alberta took 2 in the 5th end. Up by 2.
And Nova Scotia is just laying a licking on Manitoba, 11-2. You know, came back from the break and put a 3 down. And Manitoba's probably saying, okay, let's good to get this over with now. Let's get our bad game out of the way and get refocused. And we talked about athletes. I've coached for 35 years, men and women, and there's 2 parts of an athlete. There's the physical side of things where we have to know the fundamentals and be in condition and all that other good stuff. But the other important aspect is the mental aspect of the athlete and how to stay positive.
Get it by, just going to open up. If they had jumped up over this, it's going to be okay.
They could have been in there.
That could have been top 4, just lock, stock, and barrel. Hogan and her mates have no choice now. They tidy up the front or run the red straight back. Which one they decide to take off is the decision right now between Skip and me. Interesting end, Keith.
Yeah, no.
How things
well,
transpired here.
From PEI's perspective, they're making Ontario work.
Wow.
Right, and that's good. That's good, and that's good for Ontario too to be pushed. You know, sometimes you want to keep that. You need to keep that edge. You don't want to, like, if you let the foot off the pedal sometimes and you get a little lax, that could affect you for your next game too. But they've.
Well, this is the call. Open up the front, give your skipper a chance to get a look at those 2 yellows in the 4-foot, even one turn down 4 foot. Here we go.
Opens up, gets rid of 2. One's there, but that opens up those shot stones. Yeah, they probably want to try to fill that back up again.
It's tough to get a shot. You'd almost have to go to the next sheet or right out to the edge of the. No indication of what ice Rodenheiser is down the ice. McFadden with the broom down just inside the edge of the 12. If she gets out to the broom with an in and the right way, we can see some curl here. Perfect guard.
Here's her first shot. Ontario has the hammer this end.
They should drop this just anywhere on the hot line because if it gets closer, it's really uncurled. Nicely done. Good guard. Is there anything on the intern side, Keith? That's a good guard, eh? There's nothing open over there from where you're sitting. Like it's, I don't think they can get in there. They can skirt the Tim Hortons Cup.
Oof.
No, it's okay.
It's pretty tight. Because if they did come, I can't. Just the way it would have to come in.
Hogan's going to run the front.
Yeah.
So look at the jam here in the back. The weight is going to have to be takeout, good takeout, because this thing, Will Curl was shown earlier in the game. This is a nice release. She throws a nice big weight.
Oh, just missed.
Just missed it. What would you do now if you're PEI? Would you play the guard, or would you come top 4 with an outturn? Top 4, top 12, top 8 with an outturn.
Myself, the way I've been playing, I just throw a guard.
She's going to throw an intern guard. Yeah, she's taking a foot less ice, so it should work out for her.
Take my 2, get 7-5.
Yeah.
Or try.
It curls late here, so you don't want it to hang and disturb the yellow guard that's out front. Guard, shot, rock, 1 and 2.
I didn't think I'd be getting a quiz.
Okay. I know it's no long week for you.
Glad to have you here, Jim. And all the volunteers has helped us this week to be bringing you these telecasts, webcasts.
Perfect weight. Nicely done.
There you go. She's done what she could do with what she had. And now PEI is sitting to last rock for Ontario here in the
And she's forced Ontario out to a strange part of the sheet. We haven't seen anybody really throw here since the second end. It will curl here if you get just inside that 8-foot line. Looks good. Full 4-foot.
Looking at 2 PEI stones.
They're really working hard here. It's coming up. Do they have enough? Good sweeping.
Good sweeping, but just not quite enough. 2 points go to PEI. Jimmy.
7-5.
We got ourselves a game, buddy.
We got ourselves a game. Yes, sir.
A steal of 2 for Prince Edward Island, and all of a sudden they're back in the game here at 7-5. So I think I'm hearing the cheers from Cornwall. There's something coming through my headset, Jimmy.
Yeah, it could be the wind from the Confederation.
It could be the wind. Ah, the wind.
Oh, it makes it interesting.
Yeah.
7-5 Ontario. They're still in control. There's 2 wins to go. Up with the hammer. Sometimes those games, you have an opportunity to put it away, and it just doesn't happen, and it's for a reason. Maybe you make them better. They're a big game tonight.
And you can just see even the little bit of the look in Ontario. I said, okay, what happened there? Like we're moving along, everything was fine. We're up 7-1. Okay, they get 2 points. I understand that 7-3. Still. We got hammer now, and we gave up 2. Like how did we get in that position? So it's a little head scratching going on here now, and now they've got to get sort of refocused and say, okay, let's finish this off strong here. We've got the hammer again.
Yeah, experience tells you that. Just park it and
move on.
You get 1 here with the hammer.
Oh, yeah.
You're up 3 coming up.
Yeah. There's Amber with a nice shot. Going in.
PEI skipper likes to draw. The provincial champions, just like everybody here, Keith has mentioned earlier in the week. Everybody here is a winner. Represent your province, territory. You had to beat somebody to get here.
Yeah. Northern Ontario scored 2, so it's now 3-2 Saskatchewan. New Brunswick, Yukon 4-3. That's got a little tighter.
Northern Ontario and Saskatchewan both with 2 wins and 2 loss records. Final ladies draw at 7:30 this evening. Could be some interesting scenarios there.
And Quebec did well holding the territories to a single point. So Quebec is up 6-3 at that juncture, and Alberta is 6-4 for Alberta over Nunavik. Nunavic's playing Alberta tough. Well, we had an excellent steak last night at Mike's. Only problem is, was like 10 o'clock. But we were really hungry, and we've been sort of craving steak all week, okay? And we haven't been fortunate because everything's been closed at the time we get back to the hotel. It's like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Time we shut everything down here. So last night we're going to get a steak, and we had like monster sticks and Greek salads and stuff. And then we get back to the hotel about 11 and go, okay, that probably was a mistake.
Not a good idea.
Eating that much at 11 o'clock at night. So we watched a little hockey on TV and passed out. But the steak was really good. So I think we're going to have to do that one more time before the week's out. Shot cleared. Yeah, because tomorrow's playoffs. You can't get pumped up for that. Like, I mean that's prime time. And Sean, talked with Sean, and he's almost getting disappointed because there's so much work going into putting this event together, as you can appreciate, because there's a lot of moving parts. There's entertainment tonight. James Mullinger is coming here tonight James Mullinger is a comedian. Actually has a magazine too. He's editor of, but he's from England originally. He's now lives just outside of St. John, and he's a true Maritimer a true Maritimer with a British accent. And boy, have you ever heard James?
No.
You are going to enjoy yourself tonight. He is priceless.
Sandra Sobey locked one in the 4-foot here. Great draw by the second stone for Prince Edward Island. There was a guard out front. They had something to work with, and they executed well. They're taking the front off now.
Open that up a bit. They do not want another steal or two. Well, as we were watching did the match last night, Northern Ontario and Ontario. And Northern Ontario came out well, was playing good, scored some points, held Ontario to a single. I think they got a single point in the fourth end before break. And they were up 3-1. And Ontario stole 2 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth, 2 in the seventh. They outscored them 7-0 over the last 4 or 5 ends to win. And you go, what happened there? like the first half of the game, Northern Ontario was like playing, and then they just Stealing 6 points over 3 ends. Tough.
McFadden, Nancy McFadden, out-turn draw, guard, well-placed stone. Covering shot rock and 4-foot. Miller now asked to take off the guard. It's like an arrow coming out of there.
Got a good ticket.
McFadden asked to duplicate her last shot. Ontario still has the in-turn raise. Should they want to go that route?
Well, that Alberta game that was 6-4. For Alberta, they scored 5 in the 6th end to go up 11-4, and that is the game. So Alberta comes back, or extends that lead. They got a little scared there earlier on by Nunavik, but they finish it up with an 11-4 victory. And they're going to be playing this evening against British Columbia for their last game of the round robin. And another game that has concluded 12-2. Nova Scotia defeats Manitoba. And Manitoba's got to regroup because Manitoba's playing this Ontario team tonight at 7:30 on sheet 5 on one of her feature sheets. So a big victory for Nova Scotia.
PEI continues to throw the guard, still down to skip shots. Rodenheiser.
And PEI will be playing that Nova Scotia ladies team this evening at 7:30 on sheet 1.
They know the ice here. She'd like to get a guard about halfway between the hog and the rings to cover shot stone. Shelby made a great shot, second stone for on PEI. Front end sets it up, Keith, and see if they can keep pace here. This guard, it's out there quite a ways. They're going to have to really work it to get it close.
Working hard at it, good sweeping. Trying to get it over that center line.
Cover shot rock, and it's decision time now for Ontario, and I think they're going to play the run back. Here we go. They're looking at raising their own red onto the shot rock, going into PEI in the 4-foot.
And they'll be sitting 3.
Taking about a foot of ice. Assuming she's going to throw takeout, control takeout. Calls the sweep. It's close, and she's got a Danish. She's going to hit that one by. Oh, wow. And shooter acts as a guard.
Yeah, and she's laying 3, Ontario. Nice shot there, great execution. And when she comes out of the hack, she just like she's getting shot out of a cannon.
She's positive, right to the room. Nice follow through and a release. Good slide path. It's great when you're young. You can do that. Rodenheiser's last rock. Baddens indicates in-turn draw. She's at the edge of the 8-foot with the broom. Ice is running 24, 24 and a half. She likes this draw, this in-turn draw. Curry and Sobey. Rushing hard, line looks good. They're walking it in there.
Nice shot.
Number 1.
Yeah, she did what she had to do.
Oh, she's buried. There's a piece exposed. Ontario intent now to follow her down and punch that through, but the ice indication to me the ice are taking is going, and she's asked for a little bit more. Throw control here. Give it to the sweepers. Take a deep breath. But don't overthrow this. Give it the curl a chance.
Final shot, 7th end. Ontario's up 7-5. PEI shot rock.
Great wave. Lots of room. There's room. Lots of room.
Ticket. She just ticks it though. But not enough. I think shot rock goes to PEI. Yes, it does. A steal of 1. And we're at 7-6. Jimmy.
Plenty of room to get by there. 4 or 5 inches. They were sweeping it.
Just want to let you know, at one time this game was 7-1.
7-6.
7-1. Things are sailing along at the end of 4. Took a break. I don't know what they talked about. The PEI girls talked about at that break, but boy, they want to ball that.
Yes, sir. If you just had to start at this game and said you'd be coming home up 1 with hammer, I think Stacy and her girls would have taken it.
Yeah.
And this is the situation they're in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Said, listen. And we've all had that talk before. Say, listen. We're up 1 with hammer. I'll take that. And PEI girls have been just they were on the verge at one time thinking of it being blown of being blown out. You know, 7-1, and all of a sudden you get 2 or 3, 9-1, 10-1, game over. But here it is, 7-6, last end.
Curry puts up the center guard for PEI in the first shot of the 8th end. Brunswick and the Yukon tied up 5-5 on sheet D. And starting the 8th also. Amber Dawn Duncan, out-turn draw. Catches the 8-foot. PEI skipper asking Karen Curry to draw in front of the Ontario shot stone. Another rock out in front of the rings for Prince Edward Island. just a few feet short, but you know, in all aspects, this will work for PEI. It's another guard. And we're down with the intern. We're out of the rings. I like to lock one in early. Behind the tee line, this looks like it's going to slide. Back 4 foot. So the game is on here, Keats, in the 8th end. PEI down a point.
Fasten your seatbelts. Ontario is sitting 2 in the house. The PEI has, like you said, some guards up there to work with.
Sobey set to steal up the last end. 7th. Sweepers are on this early. I'm not certain she got to the green here. And a bit light. Oh, anything out front now. Will is still working PEI's favor. They have 3 yellows across the top. Ontario lies 1 and 2 with the hammer. 1 precarious rock in the back of the 4 foot. Miller and Hogan discussing what they'd like to do. With Mandy Ashton's first stone. There's Peel Tent coming in with the intern.
Lots of weight here.
They like to get things started, get them moving.
Little movement there.
Another good opportunity for Prince Edward Island to lock one in there in the 4 foot. Get more weight. This would give it some better line, but she's looks like it's going to slide to the back ring, whether it catches Ontario on the way by, and it does.
Everyone's sweeping the other one's rock.
So Ontario
still sitting 2.
Cannot sweep an opponent's stone unless it crosses the tee line in the house. And there's only 1 sweeper allowed, 1 per rock. The Ontario girls, with the right decision, they're just going to walk up. They're just going to keep the front clean. Give their skipper an opportunity to 4 foot. Ontario with just over 6 minutes and 5 seconds remaining, and the clock is stopped for PEI. They have 5 minutes and 15 seconds.
Timeout, Ontario. Timeout, Ontario. Timeout, Ontario. Ontario. I think there's lots of time.
Oh, yes.
They're a little slow getting the clock stopped.
Almost 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Almost 6 minutes left. 5 minutes and 46
Yeah.
seconds. You could probably add 8 seconds. And PEI is 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Lots of time to complete the end.
Yeah. But we did have a situation earlier this week. It was the Newfoundland team. And It was just clock management, and they were actually they ran out of time. She was in the hack, and she didn't release the rock soon enough, but she ended up missing the shot anyhow. But she had an opportunity to count 3 if she had knocked off their opponent's rock, and so that was the closest I've ever. Well, it wasn't close at all. It was actually the time went over. So, but see, because well, these players aren't used to playing with the clock in their play. It's not until would they have the clocks at provincials?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Sometimes an official should trip going to the door. I'm not going to go there.
So here we go. The shot coming in. Open that middle up. Taps her own. Moves that back a little bit.
Harder to get at, but still PEI still has the opportunity to come in on that in-turn, which they've been playing a lot the last couple ends. A good discussion there by Coach Martin Miller and teammate Ashton. And they wanted to run the front. They did clean it up somewhat. There's still that long center PEI guard they have to, Ontario's going to have to contend with, even though they're line 3. 2 of them are behind the 4 foot to the back of the P line.
I don't like it when the sweepers aren't on a rock. Well, okay, she's coming in now.
McFadden with the body English at the first.
Stop, yes.
It's behind the tee.
Yeah.
Miller asked to peel the front. Suzanne Miller, very strong game for Ontario.
Good. Opens it up. PEI wants another guard thrown up there.
She wants us to come into the rings.
Just about on the 12?
She indicated Travelers Canada, just about where the A is in Canada.
Yeah.
If you could see that from home, I'm not sure. You know, I don't have the video here or the camera here in front of me.
You can look up here, Jim. Just want to be in.
We're going east-west. That's going north-south.
Yeah.
And that's curling up, so it's gonna half a rock's gonna be exposed here. But Stacy's just gonna go up and rip that off. I'm sure Coach Martin is down there. He's already gave us instructions. Miller's throwing so well. It gives her the same shot. Out turn, rip, take out. Boy, if you can bottle that delivery. Just a little narrow on the slide, but that's something she can work on. Good release. Now it comes down to the skippers, Keith.
Always does, huh?
Yep.
Quebec's up 7-3 over Northwest Territories now. Five. New Brunswick and Yukon. 8th end, New Brunswick with the hammer. And they are sitting shot rock.
Skips rocks yet to come. Rodenheiser with the intern guard.
And we have a 3-3 game, Northern Ontario and Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan has the hammer. And they are currently...
They don't want to bring this too far because it'll really start to bend. There we go. They have a choice to make. I think she's going to definitely rip the guard. could come around and tap that back. It's a little dangerous.
As I said, Northern Ontario, Saskatchewan all tied up at 3. Northern Ontario, Saskatchewan is sitting with 3 in the house. And they have the hammer.
Stacey Hogan's first shot. Amber Dawn Duncan holds the room. She's peeling the front. Has to watch the jam here. It's well done.
Well, here is the last shot, PEI. You know what? The girls have done everything they could get back in this game. They were down 7-1 at one time.
PEI, lots of time on the clock. 3 minutes and 50 seconds. And a timeout was called, but I mean, it's just one shot to go with
Yeah.
4 minutes left. They just want to take their time. Make the right call so they don't have to rush. They don't have to worry
Get the
about
sweepers a break. We got timeout. Let's take advantage of it.
A lot
Right?
of sweeping from the PEI
Yes,
team.
it has.
Yeah, a lot of draw shots.
And
They were down 7-1, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of draw shots.
get everyone on the same page what they want to do.
Brunswick getting the their skipper shot just over the hog line. They lie 1 in the rings. They're tied 5-5, and they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rocks in play.
I know they're throwing rocks in the Quebec, Saskatchewan, but they're out of rocks. This is the last rock for. No, I guess not. Excuse me. There's 1 rock left, so technically they're still in it. 7-3. Quebec and Northwest Territories, and Northwest Territories got to be in the rings here. They got 2 in, and they're sweeping hard to get the other one, and it's short.
Well, you can still split that on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's close enough.
Well, the talent you have, Jim, there's no problem there. I mean,
some guys at
other
Vegas
people
do
it might be a little difficult, but I know.
Yeah, it's definitely a line call.
So here it is, the final shot for Skip PEI. Down 7-6, but hey, they were down 7-1 at one time, and they have clawed their way back. They are shot rock. I know everyone in Cornwall and beyond is watching with bated breath as the shot is released. The sweepers are on it. McFadden is in the house calling it. McFadden's coming out to help sweep it. There's where that, you wanted on that Canada, didn't you, Jim, there earlier?
Right on the CA. Great shot.
Good for the girls.
She has the weight.
There.
Okay. Ontario is line number 2.
I can tell you the PEI girls have made Ontario work for this.
Sure have.
Right?
They sure have. I like this call.
Yeah.
She can't play the intern hit because she's going to jam on her own red on the back of the forefoot. So she's going to play the number 4 stone, the Ontario stone. She's going to crash it into the forefoot, eliminate the yellow stone, and she has a saver at the back of the forefoot. But she doesn't need the saver. She just needs to eliminate the yellow because Ontario's up 1. Here comes the out-turn hit. This will curl.
Rock is away.
Comes a line. It's moving on her. You don't want to flip that your own red in the way by. It's a steal of one.
Stole another one. I think I hear some cheering going on on the island.
Yes, sir.
I think something's coming through here on my headset. But what a great game for PEI. They've been hot. It started off 2-0 for Ontario. PEI got one. Ontario goes up with a big 4 in the third end, steals one in the fourth to be sitting 7-1 at the break. PEI comes back with the hammer in 5, gets 2, steals 2 in the 6th, steals 1 in the 7th, and 1 in the 8th.
For a 7-7 tie.
For a 7-7 tie. We'll put 4.5 minutes back on the clocks.
It's like a tale of two games, Keith.
Wow.
2 separate games here.
I don't know what the PEI girls talked about at the break, but boy.
Hogan and her mates from Oshawa, they have the hammer in the extra end. The confidence is running high right now for the PEI squad. And rightfully so.
Bonus. They're bonus.
They're looking for their first win of the tournament.
And like I said, going back at the scores for this PEI team, they came out, lost a tough one on the first draw, 6-5. Another tough, a close game against Newfoundland, 9-7. They lost to New Brunswick 9-5, and then had a very good game against Manitoba, but on the short end of the stick, so to speak. It was a 7-5 game. So, as I said to Jim earlier in the broadcast, I mean, three out of the 4 games, they were right there. So their record could have been a lot different, and they were down 7-1 in this game, and they have come back to tie it at 7-7 to force Ontario into an extra end. And so here we go, Jim.
A victory here by Ontario with the hammer here in this extra end would tie them for first place with Nova Scotia and Manitoba. Technically, Nova Scotia's in first place now because they just defeated Manitoba.
And from a playoff perspective, there's games left to go tonight in the pools. PEI's playing Nova Scotia. Northwest Territories takes on Northern Ontario. BC, Alberta are going at it on sheet 3. Quebec women take on Saskatchewan. Ontario plays Manitoba, and Newfoundland will be taking on New Brunswick. And that'll be a 7:30 draw this evening.
I think I'm going to check out this Ontario-Manitoba game later on.
Yeah.
Since I was told I'm going to be here anyway.
Since you were informed.
Yeah, I've been informed. Yeah.
Listen, this is the place to be if you're anywhere close to the Miramichi. Get yourself down here. Well, the 4 o'clock draw, the men are back on. And then at 7:30 tonight, the last draw for the ladies. And that's going to set up. And we've just got a heck of a game next to us here. The Saskatchewan and Northern Ontario. And there's a bevy of rocks in play in that game. And they're checking out every possible angle and what will happen as Saskatchewan has called a timeout. Duncan with her shot.
Saskatchewan was up 3-0, and now Northern Ontario with 2 in the 6th and a steal of 1 in the 7th to play in the 8th. Saskatchewan with the hammer. And they have 1 biting the 4th whip. Two rocks to come. And one for Northern Ontario. One for the the Saskatchewan skip. Ontario now line 2.
Great banter going up here in the upstairs. So we have a lot of armchair curlers.
PEI have the 2 guards out in front now. They were well placed there by Curry. Sobey with a chance to come in the in-turn. Can they get full 4 foot? And this is good looking line. They're really working it.
Beautiful shot. Lovely touch. Good sweeping by the front end.
No hesitation from Hogan. She walks up now and indicates she wants the front taken off. Mandy Ashton, very strong game for Ontario.
And it is over.
This is moving.
Saskatchewan wins 4-3 over Northern Ontario. Ontario just hit on guards as there was half a dozen of them out there.
Yeah,
couldn't get in at that shot rock of Saskatchewan's. So Saskatchewan wins 4-3 in that one.
Sander asks again for the in-turn draw. Whoops. She's a little tight there. She's not too happy with that delivery.
She might go in between them.
Yeah, well, if she's out front, you know, it's going to come into play. Just
Plan B.
Plan B, make things happen. The early indication, she was light there. The early indication was to come right in on top of her own. But that works. Plan B. So we'll wait. Well, after the result of all that, there's still rocks in play out in front of the rings to the advantage of the PEI squad. We're down to skip rock, or rather the vice skips rocks. Nancy McFadden with her first stone. And she's going to talk to the skipper now. There you go, want a little more ice. Wow.
Okay, fine.
Debbie Rodenhauser, skipper, and holding
Debbie
the
says
broom.
this was a suggestion. I was going to. You want it out there? We'll put it out there for you.
Move to the left. No, the other left.
Yeah.
Baden gets out to the broom and the in-turn. Can't be heavy here, Keith.
Look at that. Who needs brushing? Who needs brooms?
Well, that
right?
really curled.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just thought she'd give the sweepers a break.
Okay, well, Ontario now. The right shot at the right time here now could clean up a couple of rocks in the front and give Stacy a chance to get at the 4 foot. But with 4 rocks crowded around the 4 foot and 3 rocks out in front,
There's Miller with her
has,
first shot.
she has her work cut out for her here. She can throw the weight. With the shooter.
No,
So
misses.
close. Same ice, just tightened up somewhat.
Yeah, a
And
couple inches.
McFadden asked to throw the in turn. I'm sure this is going to be a little bit lighter, more of a guard weight.
Sweepers are on it this time.
So just drop that over the hog line. Halfway.
Yep. Job done. She's done her job.
Well executed.
So glad you could tune in this afternoon, folks, to watch this very exciting match between Ontario and PEI here at the 2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship, Miramichi, New Brunswick. We're at the Miramichi Curling Club. My name is Keith Rains. Jim Matheson is in the chair with me, watching this very entertaining. The last match, and now something to take into consideration. There's nobody else in the arena, and that sometimes affects the temperature there, Jim.
The surface of the ice.
Surface of the ice. We've seen it affect some shots earlier this week when games have went extra ends and there were only 2 teams left. Let's see if that has any indication on. That's not so much the ones with some weight behind it, but the more finesse shots.
Look at this shot.
There's a nice shot there, and she gets rid of 2 of them.
And she shot.
Yeah.
Ontario shot. That's big time shot from Suzanne Miller.
Great shot. She's got to feel good about that.
She can throw the weight. Okay, Rodenheiser. She's going to throw same 2 shots. And she's going to do the promotion of her own stone. She has to move it about 2 feet.
Yeah, she's sitting second, but she wants to tap that in there and behind.
She has 4 to 5 feet to work with, even if it goes to the back of the 4-foot. Nancy McFadden holding the broom. We know this lady can draw.
Sweepers are on it. Working hard. Needs a little bit more.
That stayed out there a long time.
Yeah. Gets a little tap. Nice shot.
On the button.
Woo! They're clapping here. They're clapping here in the house. Oh, we're getting the hand slaps. When you get hand slaps from your sweepers, you know you had a good shot, right?
Yeah.
No.
You're slapping their hand.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's a little bit of congratulations on both parts.
Yeah, she let that go and they jumped it right early and took it there. Just enough to promote it for number 1.
And that's what was earlier on in the game. Sometimes the sweepers weren't getting on the rocks soon enough for PEI. Like in the first 4 ends, there was a few times where they just waited a little too long before they get on it. And now they're in zinc.
They're into this game too.
Yeah.
Ontario has, I believe they have an extra end. They do have a timeout.
Yep. Here's the first skip stone for the Ontario gals.
I expect some weight here from Stacey Hogan. She doesn't want to keep the shooter in play. She wants to promote the red onto the yellow, really clean things up, tidy up the front, give her a shot with her last shot. She takes no time in the hack. In-turn hit.
Sweeper just following along.
She's going to hit it, but what's going to happen?
No.
Okay. Keith, I'm going to ask you a
Deb
question.
knows what she wants to do.
I'm going to ask you a question again. Can you see if there's room with an outturn for Ontario to go through that opening? That's pretty tight.
Coming the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she locks, PEI locks her guard in, I don't think Ontario is going to have a shot unless she promotes yellow onto red onto red.
Like an angle race.
Yeah. Well, straight back.
Yeah.
Like it's,
Here it is, final shot for PEI. Extra end. Ontario with the hammer. PEI with shot rock.
yeah, you can't. You have to stay with that rock. You can't let it catch.
We got a timeout. Timeout Ontario for their final shot. And they're looking at the right side with the...
She has a slash. I think that's someone indicated behind us, the yellow. And I think that's possibly the shot she might have to play.
Well, we have the buzz going up here and what she should do.
There's two options: yellow, red, red, or yellow onto yellow.
Well, what a great game this has turned out to be. Well, I imagine if you're an Ontario fan, go, well, not really. We would have liked to have been over an hour ago. But PEI ladies have scratched and clawed. They've been behind the 8-ball since after the fourth end. And they just kept working away. They got their weights down. The sweepers doing great work getting on the stones at the right moment. And they have forced, here we are, the last shot. PEI is sitting in the house. And now a game decision is being decided.
Keith, they're looking hard at the yellow PEI rock and the 8-foot. Hit that on the outside, slash it across, clip shot stone, which belongs to PEI, another yellow stone.
Yep.
On the way by. All right, that's what they're going to go with.
Yep.
It appears they're going to play the out turn. I don't know if they're going to try to get the shooter in there on a thin cut, hit and roll in on the thin side, or they're going to play on the outside and slash it across. Well, they're all set to go. Hogan's in the hack.
Shot is away. Sweepers are on it. It's on the inside. And, oh, I think it's a measurement. It is tight, ladies and gentlemen. The angle might be a bit off, but if you're having a doubt. Yeah, get the measure out.
She played the in-turn hit, just got by that guard.
Yeah.
What a gutsy call. And threw the weight.
Yeah, yeah. Here we go. Well, what a game. Boy, both teams deserve a pop after this.
Official, experienced international Canadian official Laura Copeland making the measurements. She's measuring the PEI rock at the back, and then we'll
Oshawa
come in a clockwise motion.
And Cornwall, everyone's holding their breath.
Both
Very entertaining game, though. Just the.
Both mates
Here we go.
intense. She asked both mates to move.
She's points.
Yellow.
PEI, shot rock. The ladies from the island pull off a comeback, being
win.
down 7-1.
Their first win of the tournament.
First win of the tournament, and boy, did it in style on prime time. Just an outstanding being down 7-1, coming back, winning 8-7. Wow, Jim, thoughts? Thoughts on that?
Interesting game. 2 games in one, Keith, and very exciting. Unfortunately for Ontario, they could have had a 1 here. They would have went into a first place tie, but 3-2, and they have still have a shot at the playoffs here this evening. Big game with Manitoba coming up.
Listen, thank you so much for tuning in, folks. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We enjoyed bringing it to you. And we're going to be back with men's action here once we catch our breath at 4 o'clock. And the ladies will be back on the sheets tonight at 7:30. So this is Keith Rains, Jim Matheson signing off for now from the 2018 Travelers Curling Championship in Miramichi, New Brunswick. Have yourself a good afternoon and hope to see you later on.